Hi friends, it's Miss Mahan. For this next video, I am going to be talking to you about some Native American culture appropriation. Recently, the Western Oaks Warriors, we have kept our name, but our mascot is changing from a Native American symbol to something else, which I will show you. If you're a Western Oaks kiddo, you probably received a phone call from the school letting you know about this change. So I am going to talk through some of these things with you. If you're not a Western Oaks student, I would like you to still watch the video because there are other places around the country that have been renaming some of their symbols as well for this exact reason. So maybe you didn't hear an explanation, but you've seen this happen before, or if you haven't seen it yet, I just want to introduce you to this because chances are we're going to be seeing a lot of this as people become more aware of our actions and words and how they affect other people from other cultures. So please pay close attention because I really think that this is important for everyone to know, not just if you're a Western Oaks kid. Okay? This lesson is called Identity Iceberg. You may have noticed or have heard that the Western Oaks mascot images are changing. We will no longer be using symbols, images, or pictures of Native Americans to represent our school pride. Did you know that Native Americans not only contributed to United States history and Oklahoma history, but there are millions of Native Americans that live today and many attend our school as students, teachers, and staff. When we use images, symbols, and pictures like these, it is disrespectful to them and their families. Did you know there are 5.2 million people in the United States that identify as Native American in combination with one or more other races? There are 2.9 million people in the United States that identify as Native American alone. In the 2010 census, 482,760 people in Oklahoma identified as Native American. Did you know there are other ways to show pride in our school that respect all members of our community? To learn about how images like the old Western Oaks images are disrespectful to Native American people, let's look at this iceberg. What is important about an iceberg? Did you know we only see about 10% of an iceberg? Most of the iceberg is below water, out of sight. This is similar to people. People are like an iceberg. There is much more to us than what people see. Above the water is like when we first meet someone and the things we can tell about them. We can see how they dress. We have an idea of how old they are. We can sometimes tell whether they speak a different language than us. We can tell what their race is and sometimes what their ethnicity is. And we can tell other physical characteristics such as their hair color, how long their hair is, how tall or short they are, if they have big muscles or if they're skinny. Those are all things that we can see. These are things above the water on an iceberg. But below the water, these are things that are much more important about us because it's who we are as a person. These things we cannot know about someone until we get to know them. These examples are their values, their knowledge and education, their talents or skills, what they believe in their religion, if they have family traditions. We also don't know by looking, but other people might have disabilities, or they might be a different gender, and other things like this. An above the water question would be, what are some physical attributes that people can see about you? Or what can people tell about you just by looking at you? Other things that are more important than the way that you look are below the water questions, such as your favorite food, your favorite color, what you like to do for fun, what time of year is your favorite, how you spend time with friends and family, talents and skills that you have. These are all below the water questions that someone will have to ask so they can get to know you before they know. They don't know these things just by looking at you. How are people like an iceberg? On your iceberg, I want you to put the 10% above the water, what people see when they look at you. And then I want you to put the more important things below, the 90%. who you are as a person, what you value, traditions that your family might have, what you believe is important, what you find to be fun, how you spend your time, what are some of your favorite things. This is all information of who you are, what makes you special, and what makes you you, whereas the top part is just what people can see when they look at you. This is a 2.5-minute video. This video was produced to share the perspective of a young Native American boy and girl who attend a public school in Oklahoma. At the time of filming, the boy is in 5th grade and the girl is in 1st grade. We thank them for sharing their perspective. This is a YouTube video that I've put into this, but I will also include the link to the YouTube video directly.
There is more to me than what you see. You see symbols and imagery mocking me. You see cultural property that has been stolen for centuries. You see it every day in the local community. You see this on TV, Disney, Halloween, even buying groceries. These images speak violence to you and me. They bring no honor or dignity. It's not fun. These labels and stereotypes can be limiting, even damaging. There is more to me than what you see. It is personal. I define me, not society's imagery. There are stories. There are names. Places. Traditions and teachings that belong to me and my family. This is my identity. We belong to tribes and cultures with rich history. I am Sac and Fox, Kiowa, Creek, Oto, and Pawnee. This is my identity. We have elders, children, and graduates. And leaders making history who represent respectfully. What is it now that you see? I see beauty and human beings.
After watching the video, do these images respect the culture of the boy and the girl from the video? Many Native American people practice their culture, and we should learn about them and never try to dress or pretend to be them. Costumes are what we wear when we pretend to be something we are not, like during Halloween. Native Americans sometimes wear traditional dress because that is a part of their culture. They are not pretending, so we should not pretend to be like them. The warrior name will remain. However, there will be a new warrior image. This is the new warrior image for Western Oaks Elementary and middle schools. Hi friends, so I hope that you learned a lot from the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me and I will do my best to answer. If I don't know the answer, I will look it up for you and get back to you, okay? Have fun with your iceberg activity.